What's going on?
What's up, Bryce? How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Welcome to Brock's Brain Dump.
Oh yeah, get inside the mind of Brock Hutchins.
I don't know if we really want to do that, but here we are.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone. No, I don't know. So I think I can teach somebody something if they really care. You
I think
definitely
so.
want to get in my mind. My brain will be donated someday.
To what is the question?
Yeah,
To
I don't
where
know.
to where it's going to be donated is the
You're.
question.
I can barely hear you, your ass. Are you there?
You can't hear me?
Oh, now I can. My volume was down. Yeah. So I was watching the video last night. By the way, off topic. Watching the video, and you're right. When you are not when it's like shaky, when I can't see you, it works perfectly fine.
Okay. The video quality you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, everybody tuning in, welcome to Brock's Brain Dump, episode 1. Brock and I are going to hop on here. We thought we talk to each other enough, we might as well record it and share
I'm
what pieces of info we have out to everybody
I'm
else.
sure there's gonna be a lot of phone calls. Somebody might call. Somebody might be some live action today. A college coach might call up and say, "Hey, can you help us with this?" We'll see. That might happen while we're doing the show.
It could, it
Yeah,
could.
good.
So be prepared. From depending on where you're at, but from 3 to 4 ish, any day. You don't
Eastern
know when
Standard
we're going to
Time.
be filming.
Yeah,
We
Eastern
don't know
Standard
when you're going to. So if you're calling, you could be
Calling
on the
in.
show.
Hey, yeah, and we're gonna talk business too. There's no customer support from 3 to 4. There is, but there isn't.
We're talking business. We're talking business, right?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of business, Brock, when you started playing sports back 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
4 years ago,
2021. Yeah, 2021, January.
2021.
January was the idea.
Okay. Take me back to when you started an LLC for the first time.
LLC, or do you want me to start with the idea?
Uh, I mean, if you want to start with the idea, yeah, let's
No.
let's let's go back all the way to no. Start at the
Okay.
beginning. Start at the beginning.
Yeah. So,
Tell me the idea of playing sports. Where did that come from?
man, the idea. So when I was done playing pro ball with Milwaukee, I was in the minor leagues, of course. Not
Oh, you played pro baseball?
didn't make it all the way. Yeah, I mean that has a little bit of validity to it there. It was in my bio. It might still be in my Twitter bio. But no, I was giving lessons on the side. Just hanging. Just I love giving back. I was making good money. I was farmer school sales. So I was making $125,000 a year with the company car, maxing my 401k out. So I I did it for like the good reason, the right reasons, like helping kids, understand what it's like to do certain things on the field. And when it comes to pitchability, focus on pitching instead of being a thrower and holding that balance position. But when it all came down to it, I had a kid, Hank, 1 year old at the time, and I got a text message from a parent at 5 a.m. and it's like, "Hey, can you give lessons?" Touche to that parent for texting me at 5 a.m. Because if they didn't text me at 5 a.m., this idea would not be here. So when I got the text, I was like, just thinking there has to be an easier way. So I referred them to a buddy of mine who I played ball with at Charlotte. And I was like, there has to be an easier way for people to find lessons and facilities in their area. And I was just going to do it in Hickory, North Carolina, Catawba County. And with my sales background, and I started getting like amped up, right? Amped up, like thinking about it all the time. So I was driving around these doctor offices, but I would stop in at a college or I'd stop in at a facility, that I might have knew someone there, and ask them like, "Hey, what do you think about this idea?" I would send text messages and create forms. I don't even know where I created the forms. Oh, Google Forms. I had no clue what Google Forms was. I didn't even have a Google email. I haven't used spreadsheets in my entire life. I've never used a spreadsheet. So I'm creating this Google form, like a document, right? And I'm sending it out to parents as I'm driving through doctor offices, and I'm saying, "Hey, can you fill this form out? I want to know how far will you travel to go to a camp."
Right.
And one of the questions I remember was, if you went on vacation and you happen to come across the camp on a map, would that be helpful? Would that be helpful to find a camp on a map while you're on vacation at the beach? And 90% of them said yes. They would drop their kid off at a camp at the beach if they knew it existed.
Right.
So I knew I had something. Yeah, I knew we had something, right? So I had a business partner at the time, still my friend today, but he was having twins. He couldn't. He was too busy with life. So I remember sitting in the room in my son's room at the time, throwing a ball up with him, his wife, and my wife, thinking about names for the business. And man, we spent hours just laying on the ground thinking about business names because they loved the idea too. And then of course he backed out, but I was talking to Integrative at the time, like the website development company that we were dealing with, and he helped start that call up. But then I went and approached Justin Seeger, who's the brother of Corey Seeger and Kyle Seeger, MLB All-Star.
Those guys are pretty good, I think.
Pretty good guys. Good name drop there. But yeah, Justin jumped on board, liked what I was doing, liked the idea. So we started the company in February of 2021 officially. So a month went by, right? The vision's in my head. It's like, this is what it's going to be done. This is how it's going to work. I did not have in my mind that we were going to do payment processing. That didn't have it in my mind. It was more of just connect the URL.
Kind of like
Yeah.
a Yelp,
Yeah.
a Yelp, but for facilities and sports camps, right?
Yeah, it was like a Yelp for facilities and sports camps, but not even camps. I wasn't even thinking about that yet. It was facilities and lessons. How can we help kids find lessons? Because parents have no clue where to look. They just don't understand the space because they don't live it, but we live it. So we think they know, but that we don't. They don't know. They have no clue where a facility is in the area. I mean, I have parents. I have parents texting me saying, "Where's the nearest facility?" And I'm thinking, look at Google. Like, but in my mind, looking back at it, I'm like, I also thought like they don't live this day to day, and they don't know who to go to. Like they don't understand where that the best instructor is, or the reputation wise, having a good reputation for instruction. So when that started happening, I started thinking, where's the money at? Like not money, but it's more mission based, but at the same time, like if we're going to scale this thing, we have to turn it into something other than lessons, because if you have a company for lessons, you're only making a few bucks, right, per kid.
Right.
And it's a lot harder, especially from a legal standpoint too, because you have to deal with instructors and you have to vet them, right? And then you have to make sure the parent is the kid's old enough for that instructor, because that instructor might want to work with an 8-year-old, not a 5-year-old.
Right.
And the instructor might not show up. So anyways, long story short, one-on-one private instruction is a little different than the camp industry. So we decided to go camps because there's more involved, right? With more kids, right? Which equates to more money at the end of the day. But if we can do camps, we can get more kids out and playing, right? And going to an actual college stadium, playing sports. But if you really dive into the mindset of someone else, Bryce, if you really dive into why the sports industry is lacking, like why do kids stop playing sports? Coming back from firsthand experience, shout out to UNCG for having a sweet baseball stadium when I was 11. But my dad used to drop me off at these camps, right? And just say, hey, see you later, Brock. 5 days gone. I'm worn out. I'm tired. But I still have memories of it. I remember hitting in left field, playing a game with a tennis ball, and we couldn't use real baseballs. I remember the coach saying this. We can't use real baseballs because someone might get hurt. So we used tennis balls, and I tried to hit that thing over the fence every single time I got at bat. And it's those memories, not even memories, it's more of that type of inspiration that gets someone going and they want to make it to the next level. But we don't think about that. We think about where's the money? Like how many kids am I going to make? How much money am I going to make? But if we really thought about how much impact having a kid come out to your field and stepping between the lines and what you actually have, or what you can do for them, and saying, hey, come to our stadium and come to our field and really get that college experience. Because everyone has a vision board, right? Everyone has a vision board. Somebody might want a nice boat. Somebody might want a nice car. Somebody might want a gigantic house. Kids don't have a vision board, right? Like that. Their vision board is like, where am I going to be at?
Right. So you think so from your experience going to these college camps, UNCG and the other ones you went to, do you think that definitely inspired you or helped inspire you to play collegiate baseball and then
Absolutely.
professional baseball?
Yeah. Yeah. Cause Cause I got to interact with the coaches and the players. And when I realized that I wanted to be like them, I wanted to be that college athlete. I want to be at the top, that had that reputation and that validity, and like people want to actually talk to you. Yeah, it definitely inspired me to play at the next level, especially when I saw the way their field looked. I'm like, I want to play here, right? This
Right.
stadium is sweet. I mean, it's been like
Right.
that for the last 10 years, 12 years, but it's very interesting to think about it from a kid's perspective, instead of your own perspective. If you think outside of your head and say, I wonder how many kids in this area have no clue I exist. If you really like branch out, right? If you go up to the sky and you say,
Kind of zoom out.
yeah. So if you zoom out, so that's a good one. So you zoom out and you say, how many kids in this area are there?
From the perspective of a college coach, correct?
Yeah, from perspective of a college coach. So a college coach, yeah. So is that example like as a college coach? So as on staff at Lenore Ryan, like I feel like sometimes everyone knows we exist. I feel like I'm walking down the street, LR's on my shirt, and they're like, "Oh my god, a Lenore Ryan coach! What's up, man?" But no, they have no clue who I am. They really don't know. They don't even know what our field looks like,
Right.
and you really don't get that perspective until you ask somebody, right? But you don't want to ask somebody because you don't want to let yourself down.
Right.
So
How,
there's a gap that needs to be filled.
so how do you fill that gap? How do you make sure that everybody in your town knows about Lenore Ryan baseball, for example?
Well, so let me put it this way. Athletics does a good job marketing, right? And every college, athletics does a great job marketing. But at the end of the day, that's an advertisement. It's like you watching on TV and you see an ad pop up and you're like, oh, Lenore Ryan, cool.
Right.
But you forget about it. But they're not going to forget the day you walked up to somebody and shook their hand and said, hey, I'm Lenore Ryan. Let me learn about you a little bit. That will get people out to your games. That will
Right.
get kids out to your games. That will get more recruits because they're going to be more fans and you're going to enjoy life more. There's a lot of downtime in the office too, as a college coach, depending on the university that you're at. So think about your time management, right? Your time is very important. Everyone has the same amount of time in the day, and how you spend it is crucial to your long-term growth as you get older. Like you don't want to look back when you're 70 and 60 and say, man, I wish I did this. I wish I went out and met someone or started a business, or did something that I wouldn't have done, because
Right.
that day that something that you're gone and you pass, like God forbid you pass away, you're not remembered. You're remembered by physical interaction and talking to people,
Right.
and actually doing something that makes an impact in this world. Now, some people are different. That's just me.
So as a college coach, you talked about, being in the office, having some downtime, especially kind of,
Well,
there's different stages of the year.
yeah,
Go
like
ahead.
right now is downtime.
Right. So to do that, I mean, it sometimes can be a daunting task to go up and just shake someone's hand, like, and say, "Hey, I'm college baseball coach."
Mm-hmm.
Where do I do that? If I was a college coach sitting there saying, "Hey, I want more people to know about my program," what are you doing? Where am I going?
First off, everyone wants to know about your program. Everyone wants to talk to a college coach. College coaches will determine which direction someone's life can go.
They're honestly,
They're the lions. They're the lions. They're the top of the food chain. Literally.
they are influencers. They are celebrities. Like you college coaches out there, if you are listening to this, if you do not know or do not feel it, people admire what you do, and they respect and want to listen to what you have to say.
100%. 100%. You could charge $1,000 and one person in America will pay that to talk to you, talk to a Zoom call. I was talking to a developer earlier who's developing something for AI, and he went to Harvard, dropped out, and he said, "Oh, you should use this software to do your development." And I said, "I will pay you to hop on a Zoom call on Sunday and show me how to do this." You never know who can help you. You never know who will pay you money, give you advice on even like what your kids should do in college. Like you could charge $500 to talk to somebody that has a 12-year-old and say, "Hey, this is what you need to do and game plan to get to the next level." There's people out there that will pay $500 for that. And they will pay a college coach to tell them that because they understand it. Now, of course, compliance and all this stuff, there's a factor, but you can do content. You can do content. Sell your courses, sell your memberships. There's all sorts of ways to make money.
But the basis behind all that is college coaches have the validity and they have the people that want to listen to them. So you should not be apprehensive or afraid to go out, introduce yourself, because people do want to hear about you and your program.
Yeah.
So back to that, Brock, how, where, and how, if I was a college coach and I wanted people to know more about my program, how do I go get myself out there?
Well,
what have you done that's been successful? Because from what I know, I mean, you've taken the Lenorean baseball camps from one to a lot.
I don't even know what they're making. I think I don't know what Ram was making. He could probably hop on and tell us, but I think they were like 30 or 40,000, maybe that, and maybe 30 kids. But the best advice that I could give someone that wants to grow their camp business and make $50,000 in 3 months tomorrow, it's like you start tomorrow first off, and then but you have to plan for it in the summer. So what I would do, are we talking solely a coach, or using other people within my network? Because there's a difference. There's two.
What would you do? No network tomorrow. Start from scratch. You just got to build it from zero. What are you doing, Brock?
Yeah,
bootstrapping
it up. So I am going to recreation departments in the area, and I'm introducing myself to the directors of baseball, every sport you can think of. I don't care if you're even in baseball, softball, you could be in a different sport. I'm introducing myself to you because that one person is going to be able to tell someone else that we do camps, and hey, Brock's nice. I'm going to talk to the president of the rec leagues. I'm going to probably get their cell phone number when I show up. So, hey, let me get your cell in case something comes up. I'm here to help you guys. I want to grow the game. And if there's any opportunity that I can provide to come out and support you guys, please let me know. Right. So you have to show that you're willing to help. That's number one. Then I'm talking to everybody. I'm networking. I'm showing up at games in the area. Like I'm going to travel ball games, even though I don't want to. I did when I wanted to grow a business, but as a college coach, you're like, I don't really want to do that. But you have to do that stuff. You have to go to a travel field with 10 games going on and hand out your business card. Boom, boom, boom. You do that, your network just went from 1 to 100. 1 to 100. If you hand out your card. Now, it sounds like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. Well, do you want to make $50,000? Like, it's very easy to make 50 grand. If Playing Sports would not be here tomorrow, I could make 150,000, maybe more, probably more than that in camp money every year. I'd be doing camps all the time if I could. I would love to, actually, because I love helping kids. I love being out in the area. But I'm trying to help others, right? We're trying to help others grow a camp business, because if we can get more reach and share these insights and inspire people, we can help. So that's what it's about. It's more mission based. Like I think people get too bogged down in like the money side of things. Like who cares about the money? Who gives a crap? The money will come if you help others and you actually care about doing something different and making a change. But people are like, oh, I want to make 100 grand tomorrow. Well, it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't. It does not
I
happen.
don't think that's realistic in
Now,
anything.
someone that's done it before, yes, they can make 100 grand tomorrow, as in like throughout the year, if they just quit. But someone that's trying to get off the ground and get started, it takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of connecting and networking and talking about yourself to others and sharing what you've done previously to help others. Now, if you haven't ever done anything to help others, then you really don't have a talking point, but you're selling yourself every day. When you walk up to that parent, you have to sell yourself just like you would be selling a recruit. Just like
So
you sell a recruit.
once you kind of start that network, you've built somewhat of a network. You're in a new place, new school. You're building that network up. People are starting to know about you. You're shaking hands. People have seen your face. They have a flyer. They have a business card of yours.
But
What's next?
but hold on. But you talk about business cards, people are like, oh man, I don't know how to make business cards. Where am I getting business cards at? So this is why starting a business is so hard, right? It's so difficult because the first thing that you think of in your mind is, where do I start? People don't know. So that's why you don't do something, right? It's
Right.
like,
If you don't have the end coordinates in your GPS, it's probably hard to get there, right?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you have no clue where to start, you're not going to understand even where to begin and who to talk to. So again, that's where your network comes into play later on. Like you connect to your network, you figure it out along the way. Like you you think I freaking knew what I was doing? You think just Plains Sports sporadically appeared and we all knew everything about freaking tech? No, we had no clue. No clue what we were doing. We were just like the normal person on the street trying to figure out their life. Even though like playing sports, yes, has been successful. And yes, a lot of coaches understand that we're trying to do something different and they see the value in it from a standpoint of, if everybody's on a map, it does make sense because now no one has to search Google and there's 60 million kids in America and there's only 1,000 colleges. So we'd probably max our camps out if we were on the map.
Right.
But instead it's like, oh man, I don't want to be on the map. Like, what are you different for? Like, it's like shocking.
So again, so you were saying not many people know where to start, know where to begin, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying that's what we're here for? That's what you're here for? You've had that experience, you've helped others
Oh
with
yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of getting started?
Yeah. Yeah. You have people. Yeah. So when you're getting started, you're not going to know everything. Right. So you got to figure out, where do you begin? Right. So if you're going to go hand out business cards, or flyers, right, to travel teams in the area or a facility because you want to stop by, right? That's probably the first thing actually that you're thinking about right now is like, you need like a business card, you need a flyer, you need something to hand them to remember you by. Yes and no. You really don't need one to start. Why can't you just stop in and introduce yourself, say, hey, I'm genuinely here. I just want to say hello. I'm not here to sell you anything. You
Right.
can always go back, right? You can always restart. They're probably not going to remember too much about what you say anyways. They're just going to remember you're a college coach or someone that, is looking to help. But if you don't take a business card, this is where you get savvy. You got to get savvy. If you don't take a business card or anything in flyers, it gives you a reason to go back. Hey man, I forgot to give you my card. I forgot to give my business card. 2 touch points now. You do 3, 4, 5, they're going to remember you and they're going to want to help you. So
Are you gonna give away all the sauce for all 5 and 6 touch points? Or are you gonna say
uh,
that for another time?
I'll say that for another time. I don't want to give too much away to make 50 grand early. All right.
No?
So even though I want everyone to. So, but with the business cards, like people don't know where to start again. Like they don't know where to begin. Where do I get business cards from? Like I just learned this like 2 years ago. Like, it's like, it just doesn't magically appear in my head, even though it's Brock's brain dump, you business cards. I can tell you right now, 100 business cards is going to cost you $60. 100. But then you're like, man, how do I create one? Well, get on canva.com. They have templates. You drag your image from Google over into the upload area. So you drag it. You literally drag it. You don't have to download anything and upload it. You just drag it. You put it there. It loads. You drag it over into an element. That's a circle element. and
You
you
want to show us? You want to show us real quick?
no,
Okay.
that's another call. I'll show another call. I'll do
Okay.
that.
All
We'll do
right.
that
I'm
again.
just making sure. I'm just making sure.
But it's very nowadays with tech, it's so easy to get a business started. It's so easy to make money, even though I don't have a lot. My wife yelled at me yesterday. I'm just kidding. Um,
However, if you haven't been exposed to this type of technology, haven't been exposed to this kind of resources, it can seem
oh, it's overwhelming.
extremely difficult and
Oh, so
overwhelming
overwhelming. Yeah.
to the point where you don't even want to start, right?
Yeah, yeah. The if I could go back and look at it, I, I don't even want to look back at the days because it was such a grind. But yeah, you have to understand that we are here to help you. We're here to make sure that you don't experience what we experienced when starting a company. I wish that I had someone like myself that said, Brock, do this, and don't worry about this. Like I didn't have that because, of course, being Brock, I like to like throw the manual, the what's it called?
Instructions.
Yeah, I want to throw the instructions out and say I'm gonna figure it out myself. But I do that on my end because I want to learn to then help others. That's the only reason I do it. Now though, I'm asking for help from other people that have been in my shoes before. Like, how do you get investors? Like, how do I start a pitch? Right? How do I hire a developer? Right? So there's all sorts of stuff that we have to start making a lot easier because we're trying to scale faster with Bryce over here. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of areas within the industry, sports specifically too, that we can all do better at from wanting to grow the game. I think everyone does a good job. Like, everyone does a good job with their mission, and like, you're a coach, like, because you want to help. But from the aspect of thinking about the kids and why the sports industry is slacking when it comes to camp businesses specifically, and getting kids out the games, it all has to do with getting out there more and just talking to people. And if you don't do that, then you're not going to get fans and you're not going to get campers. But if you do that for 6 months and 9 months, you're going to make $50,000 to $100,000 in youth camps. Guaranteed. I will bet you, I'll put money on it. I'll put money on it.
I would too. And I think one thing, you know, is when you talk about, starting a business and growing a business, that doesn't mean just like starting a clothing line and selling the clothing line, which if you wanted to,
Yeah,
you could do, we could help you with
I would
that.
love to help anyone. I want to help. Our goal, help 1 million customers start a company online.
I like that.
Online or offline business. 1 million. We want to help 1 million people start a business because there's so much opportunity out there, especially with how tech's going and AI. There's people are going to lose jobs because of it.
But what I'm saying is,
Okay.
from a college coach's aspect, you're 100% true. Is I think a lot of times coaches think of camps as just camps, right? However, if you're hosting a camp, it is a business. Like,
It's a business.
it is a business, and you can run it like a business.
We should bring Robbie on next one. We should bring
Robbie would be
Robbie
great to have.
would be amazing for everyone to hear.
Robbie would be fantastic because
Robbie, $200 million in AAR year for idtech.com, camp company that went to colleges. He said that people would pay $2,000-$3,000 for their kid to go to the camp. And he said the number one reason that they paid that much money is because they wanted their kid to go to that school. He said parents will pay anything. He said $200, $2,000. You'll find people that want to pay that kind of money. You just have to get out and talk to people, introduce yourself to people, and market.
So when you combine not only that aspect of treating your camps as a business with being someone who everyone looks up to, wants to be around because you've been in the community, you're not only going to make money, but you're going to have a highly successful camp business every single year
Yeah.
that people come back to and want to be a part of because they want to be around you. They want to be around your program. They want to support your program. And
Yeah,
I think
people want to
that's
go
one of the
out.
main.
People, yes. Like, I don't even know. I mean, to be honest with you, like, I have to find out when our games are at Little Ryan. Like, they should be all over social media. Let's actually, you know what we should do next call?
What's that?
We should talk about.
We should ask the people. We should ask the people
No, they're
this.
not gonna know. There's only maybe one or two people listening to this one. So what we
Hey,
should
but
do?
that's hey. If you are still listening right now, whatever this is posted on, if you are still listening right now, please comment down below. Send a text. Let us know that you're still listening right now. And if you shoot us a text after, because you're probably like my dad or somebody, or Brock's dad.
My
If you're
dad's not
still
listening to
listening,
this.
shoot us
My
a
dad's
text,
not
and
listening
we'll,
to this.
Okay, but keep going. What should we do next
Yeah.
time?
So next. Well, here's some topics. Let's talk about topics that I really want to get off my chest.
Okay, let's get them off your chest. Brain. Let's
That I want to
let's
get off
do
my
it.
outside my brain. That's what I should say. Outside
Let's
my
let's let's do a little brain dump right
brain.
now. Do you want me to put the timer on you and give you 30 seconds?
No.
Okay. All right.
Brain dump in here though. I am in a brain dump.
Okay.
Marketing. We
Okay.
need to do better at marketing. Like, in general, graphic design, marketing,
Okay.
graphic design, email campaigns, blast out text. How do you capture emails? How do you follow up? How do you sell? Get a travel coach on here, talk about what their experience is like and what they would like to talk about from a standpoint of, like, if they feel like talking to college coaches at a field would
Right.
be beneficial. Do you think if a
Yeah.
college coach walked up to you, what would you think?
Right.
Um,
What if a college coach DM'd the travel coach on Twitter and said, "Hey, I just want to introduce myself. I'm a college coach in the area."
very easy. It's very easy. Very easy. That's going to get you 10 kids right there.
Don't you think that coach is more inclined to send his kid to your prospect camp?
100%. Not even that. Just prospect camp, youth camps. They're going to tell other people. The goal in business, no matter if it's camps, no matter if it's your one-on-one lessons, no matter if it's your printing company or landscaping company, the one piece of business is have other people sell for you. Word of mouth spreads like wildfire. If
Put that on
you
TikTok.
do it for the right reason. Put that on TikTok.
Yeah.
Put that on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Especially when there's only two people selling for you right now, or when you only got two people a part of your business, and in a lot of cases, for a while, it's just going to be you. It's just going to be you.
I can tell you this.
Tell us. Let us know.
There's
Tell
no
us.
one that's going to care more about your business than you. Not your dad, not your mom, not your grandma, and not your grandpa. The only person that's going to give two rats' asses about your business is you. They're going to forget about it the day you hang up. My grandpa put $50,000 into playing sports, and I don't even talk to him.
Maybe you should call him.
Well, we're the same person. Literally, we're like very similar personalities. So we can go weeks without talking to anybody.
Right.
Like, that's even though, yes, that's just my personality and the way I was born, and grew up.
But you know that.
Family matters. Family matters.
I think that's.
But at the same time, it's very hectic lifestyle.
All right. Look back. You got anything else you want to dump out of your brain? You got marketing. You got graphic design. You got email campaigns. You got how to follow up. You got get a travel coach on. Talk about
it all. We're gonna talk about it all. We're gonna talk about how do you make money, how do you start, how do you buy a domain, how do you buy a business email, what are the benefits to a business email? Because a personal email, you can only send 500 mass emails at one time, but you can send 2,500 with a business email. But then you can buy a marketing API key, connect it to another software, and send 50,000 emails. So it's endless. I have so many things that I think can help someone just start somewhere, start a business, make $50,000. I can excel that person as long as they execute. They can't, and this is not a course. We're not selling anything here. I could care less about that. I just want to see people succeed. I want to see people enjoy doing what they love to do. Even if you're a coach and you want a side business that does landscaping. Like, I'm helping my buddy. Man, he makes $600,000 a year doing landscaping. He's like, hey, Brock, can you build me a website? Can you come out and take drone shots? Like, I didn't even know what a drone was when I first did this. I didn't know any of this. So I think Bryce too brings a lot to the table too.
I try. But I think we've learned all this. Brock primarily has learned
Bryce
a
has
lot of
learned a lot.
this.
Bryce, you tell us. You tell me, right? Lean back a little bit.
Sorry, I like
No, this
sometimes
is
I
fine.
get close to
Yeah.
the camera.
So Bryce, based off of what you've learned since you graduated, from sales to marketing to social media to software to use to building a website. Now you do grind, like you're nonstop, just like I am. But do you think someone out there, the normal person that just like thinks in their mind like it's so hard, do you think they can do it?
Yes. Yes.
How long do you think it will take someone to get an understanding? Or let me ask you this: how long do you think it would take someone to be able to teach someone else? That's when you really know you made it. That's when you know you have a good idea of how well versed you are in this space. Like, how long do you think it would take someone to teach someone else how to buy a domain name?
How to buy a domain
Yeah,
name?
just a domain name. Yeah, because people are like, "Oh man, I don't know where to start." Like, that's the first step is you got to buy a domain name. So, how hard is it? How long would it take for someone to teach someone else how to buy a domain name? How many domains would they have to buy?
Maybe two. If you want to be real thorough with it, maybe two, maybe three. I mean, honestly, I don't think it would take that long.
It wouldn't take long at all.
It
Like,
would not take that
it
long.
wouldn't take long. It's
Maybe two.
maybe
I just say two.
one.
You could do one,
I think
but I
one,
would just say two. I would say
two's
watch
safe.
someone.
Yeah.
I would say watch someone. Watch someone
Watch us
one.
do it. Well, I'll buy a domain name. I will spend $21, $11, I think, a year just to show everyone how to buy a domain name.
I would say watch someone do
Watch
it.
us. Watch me. I'm gonna
Then
buy
I always like to say go do it yourself.
Yeah.
Go do it yourself.
Do it.
And then after that second one, you should be able to go teach someone how to do it.
So you think? So you're saying you're saying people don't start businesses online because they don't know where to start, right? They don't know where to buy a domain name. So
I mean, I think you said that, but I would agree with you on
Yes.
that. I don't know if I ever said that.
all right,
Yes.
so buying a domain name is one of the reasons why people don't start businesses, right?
I don't think a lot of people don't even know what a domain name is. To be
Yeah,
honest,
.com, URL. It's true. So you're saying
or the significance of why you would need one.
So you'd say that they need to watch someone do it first,
Yeah.
right? And then do it themselves or attempt
Yeah.
it and try and get through it. If not, you can go back and watch that video and then buy another one, is what you're saying. And then show someone how to do it. You think they could do it in 2 tries?
Yeah. I'm also a very visual and kinesthetic learner.
Yeah, me too.
So once I see it and then do it myself, I'm good to go.
Yeah, same. I think so. Here's something that's very interesting too. Is people want to make money, right?
Right.
There are people. If we go on Upwork right now, I guarantee you, someone's paying someone $50 to like buy a domain and connect it to the website or something. Maybe guarantee that. Maybe even buy a domain name. So we're
on top of what the domain name costs.
Yeah, so domain name costs $11 for the first year if you buy it through GoDaddy. It's cheaper in other places like Namebright. I think it's Wix, WordPress. You can buy domain names from a few different software companies, but it could range anywhere from a penny to
a few $1,000s, over $10,000.
$4 million, I think, is what they bought the AI one for. It's called chat.com, I think.
Yeah,
Recently.
yeah, I think they did.
Well, we spent 10 grand on the one on ours. We spent
That's true.
2,500 on playing sports.
Yeah.
Now people are like that. You're crazy for spending that much money. But at the same time, it's a household name. You got to think about household names, keeping it short, keeping it sweet, keeping it memorable. If you can buy a domain name, sweet, short, memorable, done. You need a domain name. Everybody needs a domain name. And at the end of the day, because that's how you brand. Like putting on your business card, talking about your business card again. Like if you hand a business card out, what's the business card going to say? Like that's another thing. That's something else. Like where do you start with business cards? Like what do I put on there? It's like you put your picture. One, you put your picture. You have to put your picture.
A lot of people say don't put pictures on a business card. That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah, that's because they've never done it. And they don't know what they're doing. You put your picture, you put your face on it because it's memorable. 2.
What if you don't have a memorable face?
Then make one. Make AI. Use AI to make your memorable face. I don't know. Number 2.
What's number 2?
I'm trying to think. Number 1 is image. It's a picture for your logo or for your business card. Number 2 is buy the domain name, because if you have a domain name, they're like, oh, this guy's legit. They
can look you up. They can look you up.
This person's legit. Like they must like know what they're doing. I want to be around people that know what they're doing. So if you have a domain name, you kind of look like you know what you're doing, because that person probably doesn't know how to buy a domain name. And 2, put your name, put your title, put your cell phone number, put your email. You have a big problem if you have to buy 2 phones, like we did. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing if you have 2 phones, because that means you're connected with so many people that you want to keep your family separate versus your serious connection network people, right? So that's the point that you could strive to get to if you really want to be making some cash. Now, then colors. Where do you make the business cards? Canva.com. Very simple. Choose a template. You choose which type of one.
Canva is a lifesaver.
Oh, lifesaver.
If you want to invest, go invest in.
$140.
If you're starting a business,
$140 a year, I guaranteed, easy.
That should be one of your first investments. After you buy a domain name, you should buy Canva Pro.
It took me an hour. It took 9 hours. It took me a year to find something to use for graphics. Like I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't know how to create a graphic. Now I'm creating graphics left and right. But Canva saved my life. So then, or saved the business basically, because you got to have graphics to be able to use it for marketing purposes. But the last thing I'm going to say about this, the business cards is, and people think it's not important. They're like, oh, I'm going to be cheap and I'm not going to spend an extra $6. But if you look at it this way, if you look at it like, all right, what type of business card am I actually going to buy? Am I going to buy a rounded business card? Am I going to buy a square business card? Am I going to buy a cardstock business card? Am I going to buy one that I can throw through a window and it breaks? You want to buy one that someone's not going to throw away, because if they throw it away, you just wasted your money. So you first design image. You put your image on there, you're more memorable. They're probably not going to throw your image away because they want to say, hey, yeah, I got this person's card the other day. The last thing is thickness of card. Have a thick card because they're going to put it in their wallet or their purse and they're going to keep it. And when that time comes, or they see your post on Facebook, or they see your post on Twitter, or they see your name on the news because you won a World Series, they're going to reach out to you and say, hey, congratulations. And you just clicked in their brain. It's not about you selling. It's about other people selling for you. So again, that business card is selling for you if you buy a thicker card.
I think this can all be summed down and be applied to other areas of business, not just a business card. It's like when you pay attention to the details, when you seriously value and think about your image, people are going to remember you, right? When you put the time and effort and money in to make a quality product so that people remember you, they will. And it might not happen immediately. It might be down the road. It might be a year. It might be 2 years. You don't know. But if you put that work in up front, and put the time and effort in, it will pay off down the road.
Yeah. It takes 2 years to grow something that you know nothing about. If you start at like 6 to
Where
12,
did that statistic come from?
my personal experience. Like
I know. I know.
it takes me, so I grind. I don't know about anybody else, but I put 2 years into something and I know it's going to get there. I know where we can get it in 2 years if we really try. All right, I got to go. Wife's calling.
All right.
That wraps it up.
That wraps it up. First episode of Brock's Brain Dump.
Brock's Brain Dump. I like it so far.
I don't know. We'll see. I like it. I like that.
Too,
Good episode. I mean, hey, if one person watches it, I hope they got something out of it.
Yeah, we're gonna post the YouTube video. Get Brock's Brain Dump twirling the head.
Just post this whole thing. Just throw it out there.
No,
Yes, just throw the whole thing.